in your organization, if you were to do that, if you were to write one blog article a day and you were to get 3 bits of inbound every single day, how would that affect your achievement of your number?
Great to have you with me, and it's great to have Adam Gray again.
Hi John, nice to see you again.
Welcome back, Adam.
Thank you.
Here in Sydney, in a beautiful spring day, we're locked in this room, but I'm having fun.
As am I.
Adam, one of the things I get, particularly from salespeople, is I haven't got time. You know, I manage my LinkedIn profile, all the dialogue that's happening, writing articles, producing content, whatever it is, I haven't got time. And social takes a lot of time, doesn't it?
It doesn't have to.
Oh,
but my argument about that, and this is a question that I get all the time as well. I haven't got time for social. So I would always handle that in a tongue-in-cheek kind of way and say, so you haven't got time to post something which could be seen by 600 million people, but you have got time to phone and leave messages on 20 answer phones for people that you know in your heart of hearts are never going to phone you back. So how does that work? I think the reality is that...
It's a bit black and white, but yeah.
It is a bit black and white, but I think one has to extrapolate these things. I think that the key thing is that you have to find a process that works for you. There are tools out there that will help manage your time better, like Buffer maybe, or Hootsuite or Sprout, that will help you schedule things for going out during the day.
Yeah.
You have to bear in mind that because you've written a tweet and you've posted that tweet, and I use Twitter as an example here, it doesn't mean that you can't post that tweet again after a week or a day, or so you can use the same content multiple times in those kind of transient platforms.
It's a reality that if you put it out once, a few people will see it. Put it out a second time, it would be a few people, but different people will see it.
Very possibly.
And you're covering more and more of an audience.
Absolutely right.
Okay. So I've got to say that I spend a lot of time on social, and it drives me mad that I spend as much time as I do. And I think I'm getting very efficient at it. But there's a few things that we need to do aside from use tools, isn't there, to ensure that we've got efficiency and we're focused and so on. But you're saying whatever, you have to make the time.
You do have to make the time, and I think that like so many things that we do in business, the more you do it, the better you get. So if you decide you need to write a 500-word blog article, the first one you write might take you 2 hours. The next one you write might take you an hour and a half. When you've done a dozen or 2 dozen or 3 dozen of those articles about your specialist subjects that don't need research, they're things that you have inside that you can talk about, you should be able to knock them out in 15 or 20 minutes.
I ran a test recently, not a test, but I gave a challenge to somebody I was coaching on this, a salesperson. They didn't want to write. I convinced them it was absolutely vital. And I just said, look, you need to put value out there. You need to put insight out there that's of value to your target customers. So what are the sort of things they're looking for? Well, go and think about your existing customers and what they've done well, what good experiences they've had in driving changes. Write about it. You don't have to name them. It's just, in this case, and it's great insight for other potential customers.
It is, but if you think about how you started this conversation that we're having now, you began by saying, Adam Gray's here, he's come over from London, we're sitting in, it's a nice spring day, and actually that's a fantastic beginning to any blog. So you can begin by saying, I was sitting on the train earlier this week and I was sitting opposite this guy and he was wearing a black leather jacket, and I thought, black leather jacket, that's an interesting thing to be wearing on a day like this. And that got me to thinking about this client that I have that's a clothing manufacturer and they make black leather jackets. And I was there, and all you're looking for is to begin that dialogue, to get your one point across.
You need to become a storyteller.
Absolutely right. And the interesting thing is that there's nobody better at telling stories than salespeople. So why can you not just write that? And it could be that you use your mobile phone as a dictaphone and you just talk into it as if you were talking to the customer, and then you dictate that.
And it could be that you use people in your organisation to edit what you've written. You've got the people that are good writers, or often in marketing they might be good writers, etc. Get somebody in marketing to edit, review and what you've written and give a bit of an edit before you publish.
Certainly you can do that. I think that in a lot of organisations, when you give it to the marketing department, it becomes property of the marketing department rather than your property. And as a salesperson, what you need is immediacy, you need regularity,
Yep.
and actually you're much better off in control of that yourself. This is not part of the marketing machine. This is about making you a micro-influencer where people come to you. You're the point of contact.
Relative to this story, though, I've had a lot of people, organisations, that have stopped their salespeople from writing. They don't empower them. They say it's too risky. What are your thoughts about that?
It's ridiculous. It's not too risky for me to stand up on stage in front of an audience. It's not too risky for me to go and talk to your best customer. It's not too risky for me to present at your annual conference. So why is it too risky for me to write stuff? It doesn't make any sense.
Because 100,000 people are likely to read it.
100,000. If 100,000 people were reading it, you would have more business than you knew what to do with.
Okay, so back to the bottom line for this discussion. It's about finding your time.
Absolutely.
Social is so essential that we should be putting time into it.
We should.
And I don't like to put guidelines on it, but I probably put 6 hours or more into social every week.
Yeah.
And the return on investment I get is enormous. It's absolutely invaluable to me. However, I'm getting extremely efficient at doing that, using the right tools and so on, and also having a very clear strategy. It's making sure you're only connecting with people in your target audience. You don't connect with every man and his dog out there. It's in the target audience, and you're dialoguing with people in your target audience, and you're then getting content of value to that target audience. Do you agree with that?
Largely I do. I think that to give this context, my company, Digital Leadership Associates, we produce one piece at least of unique content every single day. So one blog article every single day. We get at least 3 pieces of inbound every single day. So if you, and we're a company of half a dozen people full-time and half a dozen more on contract. So in your organisation, if you were to do that, if you were to write one blog article a day and you were to get 3 bits of inbound every single day, how would that affect your achievement of your number?
Yeah, easy answer to that one.
Absolutely.
Okay, so we've got to do it. We've got to make the time available. We've got to have a good strategy and efficient approach to doing it.
Absolutely.
And you'll get the return on investment.
Indeed.
Thank you very much, Adam.
Thank
Look
you,
forward to
John.
the next time we talk.
Thank you.